Cody, what's your DK plays? Who are you playing this week? I'm playing Betchko here. Stupid, probably, but I'm playing Betchko here. Cody, what's up, man? See, I'm kind of thinking of fading Tybura. I don't know why. I've changed some shit up in the last couple of hours, and I've kind of come off Tybura and Alex Caceres. But I feel like Tybura is going to absolutely starch Andrei Arlovsky. Hey, Pigeon, what's up, man? Ron, it starts at 9:30 a.m. So I actually get to go to bed at a reasonable time, sleep, and go up and pretty much watch fights for breakfast. Pretty cool. Malato. As soon as DraftKings comes, man, you have to get on it. It's a great, great thing. Love it. See, I was on Alex Caceres, and I don't think Rolando D is overly that good, but he might stick around for 3 rounds because you know what Alex Caceres can be like sometimes. So, see, the way I've got my team with Betch is I've got 4 guys who I think can get heavy finishes and 1 who could get a decision win, and he's another dog. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. By the way, if anybody's want a game on the DraftKings, come and well, we can have a game for a couple of dollars if you want. Bilbar85, BILBAR85, and you can come and play a game. We can have a head-to-head and see what's up. This is anybody like because I know I get my predictions out really, really early. So usually on the right before kind of fights, I usually change my mind on a few fights. Is any of you guys? Has that kind of happened to you guys? I've had a couple of little things that I'm changing my mind to, but I'm still sticking with the plays that I have for now. So not Holly Holm. Yeah, stay away from Holly Holm. Even though I think she's going to knock out Betch, or she could knock out Betch. I'm staying away from Holly. Arlovsky's power nowadays, I think he's still got the power. I just don't think he's got the chin to survive. I really don't. I think he's not training at Jackson Wink for this camp. I mean, I think they tried to tell him to retire, and he didn't like that too much, from what I'm hearing. So she beat Raquel. It was very, very close, Cody. Very close. Yeah, any different lean since the video drop? I went with Kwan Ho Kwak, but I think that fight's going to be super close. I do like Kwak. He really impressed me in his debut, even though he got taken down, but he got back to his feet and he kept on trying. But Doan's back's against the wall here, so he needs a win. I actually like Doan in DraftKings. I think you have to. I think 76, he's got the upside of possibly getting takedowns. So yeah, why are you staying away from? Well, I'm staying away from Holly Holm odds. In fact, I'm staying away from Holly Holm altogether. On DraftKings, I just think she's too expensive, and it might go 5 rounds where all she does is run around and just screaming. Pretty much, the odds I've went nowhere even looking at the odds regarding that. I'm trying to think if there's any other guys that I'm kind of liking a little bit. I'm still very, very strong in Dong Young Kim. When I get like that, sometimes when I look at matchups very, very closely, like originally I was going to go with Colby Covington, and then I thought to myself, this is a clear step up. James Lyons, that's a good one actually. Justin Scoggins, I picked him via decision in my predictions, but I actually thought at the weigh-ins he looked really good. He looked in good spirits, and Sasaki, as long as Justin Scoggins has the head on right, he wins this fight everywhere. The guy's a really talented fighter, a really talented fighter, and he can go very high in that division if his mentality is right. I believe so. DraftKings dogs, Kakashi Ball Z. I've just talking about it. I think that Doan's a good one. Who else? Who else was I talking about? I've seen some people say Asuka, which I'm not too sure about. There's a lot of people here liking Covington. Hey, I know that there is a clear path to victory for the guy in this fight here, especially in DraftKings. The guy's a DraftKings GOAT. He's one of the best on there with his takedowns and stuff. But I just like I think Dong Hyun Kim's tough, man. He's a big dude as well. You see him when they're face to face. He's a really big dude, and he's a heavy guy as well. To try and Dawn will be high. He will be. I think it's one of these stars and scrubs weeks. Personally, oh, nice put. Anybody else watching the US Open? I'm actually winning some money in DraftKings at the minute. I only entered like $5, and I'm up 50. I think $55. I'm up already. So another couple of days maybe make some money off that. But understand the Kim pick. Yeah, lots of people are on. There's a clear victory here for Colby Covington. Clear victory. Road to victory, I should say. But I just think that Dong Hyun Kim's tough. And when I seen that line, I woke up and it was plus 250, and I was like, what? That's crazy to me. So crazy. Another thing, what bets have you guys got for this card? I've got about 4 or 5 bets. I've got some parlays. I've obviously got Dong Hyun Kim. I've got 1 unit on him. I've got 2 units on Li Jingliang by KO or TKO. I got him at plus 138, which was pretty good. Got Love Mark in the Millie Maker. That's a really good. What was his percentage in the Millie Maker, Ryan? Because I played him in a couple and he was only like 3%. I picked Siwoo Kim, who had for 0.2%, which is crazy. I picked Adam Scott, picked Matsuyama in another lineup. So I'm doing okay. Brooks Koepka, I've got him in a couple of lineups, so doing well for me at the minute. 3.4%. Nice. Cover is home. Harris home anyway. I know my buddy Cody Horn. Me and him have kind of had a little bit of back and forward regarding this. And again, to Cody, if you're listening, I've been trying to find these fights, but we're overdue with this baby. I don't think it's going to show up any time within the next few days. I'll try and find it, but I'm trying to get everything ready and stuff like that. So why are people so high in Harris? I think it's for the simple fact that Cyril Asker is not very good. And you look at the matchup, you think, how does he win the fight? I don't think he can lay in him. I think he's too athletic. He stops the takedown. He hits harder. He's more accurate. He's got like a 8 or 9 inch reach. So yeah, that's why I think people are so high in Harris. I've kind of faded back off him a little bit in DraftKings, to be honest with you. Thoughts on Dos Anjos? To be fair, Dos Anjos looked good at the weigh-ins, and of course he's going to look a lot better than cutting all that weight down to 155. But I mean, Safadin's a big dude. Those guys were standing in front of each other, and there was a clear advantage. But Safadin's just got a very low output. But I think it's going to be close. I really do think it's going to be close. So Safadin on DraftKings might get you 50, 60 points in a win, and he's going to be 7-2 he is, so not that much. Cyril's only game plan is takedowns yet and try and lie in him, and I don't think he can. Harris is just too big. Sleeper fight for tomorrow. Let's see. Sleeper fight. What have we got? Tuck, Gomez, no. I think Inoue and De Thomas. No. What was the one? I think Li Jingliang and Frank Camacho could actually turn out to be a bit of a back and forth scrap, so that could be quite a good fight. If the thing with Camacho, he fought a few weeks ago, and the guy has literally got 3-4 minutes of gas in him, and after that he's done. So Cyril has the better gas tank if he get past the first. I think it's pretty even with that, in all honesty. But he is a smaller. I keep thinking when I was looking at him yesterday, I was like, man, you should really be at 205. I think he could, if he was to really put a bit of work in, he maybe get it down. But to me, a Kobe should cut to 155. Well, I never really thought of that before. Oh, maybe. Yeah, what people seeing anyway. Like I was saying earlier on, right? I think that the line is off. Went away a little bit. I think it should be maybe minus 150 to minus 175. But it's just the odds makers. They see something we don't. Looking forward to UFC Glasgow. I am. I love going to live cards. If you guys haven't been to a live card, I went to my first one at UFC 70. If I remember right, I think it was. And since then, I love the chick fight sleeper. Definitely, I love going to live events, and the perfect. It's just brilliant traveling all over the world. I've been to Germany. I have been to Canada to watch fights. I've been to Vegas. I've been to Chicago to watch fights, as well as Europe. It's brilliant to go to live fights. I love live fights personally. So, poor man's Horiguchi. I think we're going to see a big step up from him in this fight. Coming in short notice, I think he's going to show a little bit more, but we'll see. Got cracked in his last fight. He did get cracked in his last fight, but Bobby Nash, I think, is a big hitter. Bobby Nash is actually, I think, could be a live dog in Glasgow against Danny Roberts. I'm a big Danny Roberts fan, but I was watching Bobby Nash today, in fact, and I think he's got a lot of tools that could cause Danny Roberts a lot of problems. We'll have to wait and see. Chick fights up for DK. I think this could be good though, because like Pudilova, even though she lost the last fight, she had like 50 points on DraftKings, which was pretty decent. I heard it's hard to get a good view at live events. It can be. I like to sit cage side. I don't mind paying the money to sit cage side. I sat cage side in Dublin for McGregor Brandao, which had brilliant seats. I did it for Glasgow, for Brisbane, Ladies. I've done it a majority of times, but I've also sat back and you actually get a great view. I did it in Manchester for 204. We were close, but we were sat up in a little bit, and it was great. Great view. And then the MGM Grand, when I went to 189, we had shit tickets, or what was perceived as shit tickets. And they actually turned out to be really, really good. There's not a bad seat in the old MGM, so yeah, I don't like Roberts. Even Steele killed him. Danny Roberts is one of the nicest guys. I've known Danny for years, and he's just a nice guy. I thought his fight with Platinum Perry was brilliant. It was really, really fun to watch. But yeah. Cadella, yeah. See, I think I had Claudia in one team, and she put me on to. I was sitting about $3,000. I was winning one of the GPPs before the main event, and then it went to shit from there after Holloway won. So yeah, hard to judge Pudilova when she was fighting Lena Landsberg. It's true, very true. But I just think like the Pudilova and the Kim fight is just a clear striker versus grappler. But if you watch the Landsberg fight, she was put against the cage, and I think from there that Kim can definitely get her to the ground, and then from there she's looking at what are the odds of OJ getting his tickets, slime hands and tickets from McGregor. Fucking zero. He's getting nothing. But he might knowing OJ, that little motherfucker will find a way to get himself cage side as well, sitting next to fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z with Kanye West to the back of him or something. Knowing what OJ's like. Marshman should knock out James. We were talking about this the other night when I was having a little chat on here. It's a good matchup for him. James doesn't move his head. Marshman's a good boxer. He's gonna. The Welsh boys that are fighting on that card in Glasgow are That's a good parlay for her, if you ask me. I don't think they're losing any fights. Who would you pick between Valentina and Joanna? I'd probably actually go Joanna, even though they fought before in Muay Thai and Valentina's beat her 3 times. I think I would probably go with Joanna. I think she's progressed so much. But that's a fight I want to see in the future. Pudilova can't get off the cage. Malato, you're seeing what I'm seeing. I see her getting her back put against the cage and Kim getting trips, and she's a big girl as well. But interesting to see. We'll need to wait and see. It's going to be one of those close fights I like. I've got no Pudilova on DraftKings. Oh, have I? Yeah, I've got a few Pudilova on DraftKings, but I've got a lot more Kim. I think she's nice at 8,000, potential a finish. And it could be a lot of kind of on the ground. She could move to various positions and get points that way through advances and stuff. Ashton McTorrent's the worst UFC fight. He was terrible, and I was telling people all week that he was the worst fighter, and he's just not good. Does Paul Craig stand a chance? He does. Khalil Roundtree's not that good. Paul Craig's not your best fighter you'll ever see in your life. But I think it's that clear striker versus. I'm finding it really hard to see any of the Scottish fighters losing in Glasgow. They've all got really tough fights though. So it's either going to go one way or it's going to go completely the other. I think the toughest one of the lot of them is actually, I think Stevie Ray's got a really tough fight against Paul Felder. That's going to be close. I think Jojo's got a little bit of advantage over Calvillo if it stays standing. And she's got the experience as well. Like I said the other night, Calvillo's only been a pro for less than a year. So, yeah. But she's a whiz on the ground. If this goes to the ground, she's going to completely dominate Joanne Calderwood down there. Roundtree has come along with his takedown defense. Well, we need to wait and see, because really on the feet, it's Paul Craig doesn't have much, and yeah. Nah, I don't think Kim looked fat. I don't see that. I think De Thomas did, definitely. Jojo awesome at 125, I agree. But she says she wants to stay at 115, which is really, really weird. Really weird. I've known Joanne for years. But that's a little bit of a head scratcher. See, I don't think Roundtree. I think he's got capabilities. You can see that, but I think as soon as this hits the ground, he's going to be submitted. And Paul Craig, you can say what you want as him as a fighter. He's really, really good in the ground, like really good. I've actually watched him roll as well. Guy's good. What's the most vicious KO you've seen in UFC first and MMA as a whole? Thomas Almeida against Brad Pickett. Crazy knockout. That was a really good fight. UFC one, I was actually thinking that earlier on today, thinking back, 'cause it's going up to International Fight Week, and that week in Vegas was unbelievable. Just a great fight. And like, it was a slow burning event. I was looking forward to the prelims, Smoker versus Siri. Garbrandt was on the undercard. There was obviously Brown and Means, and that's really where that card started. But there was an atmosphere, and you could tell that something was going to happen. And that main card was incredible, absolutely incredible. I've never been to a card like it. And Dublin was like, in Ireland was one of those great cards as well. But that experience being in Las Vegas for Conor lifting that belt was pretty special. It was like it was in Ireland pretty much, just with a shitload of casinos and people gambling. That's what it seemed like. Yeah, John Hathaway. From what I'm hearing about John Hathaway, like he's got a really bad disease. I don't know what the disease is. I've heard in the kind of grapevine that he's not been well with it. So whether we ever see him back, um, whether we ever see him back, is something we'll just need to wait and see. But is Li Jingliang a guaranteed KO? I think he is, as long as he doesn't go out there and just start swinging, because Camacho's going to come out, stand there, stand his ground, and just throw bombs. That's what he does. He'll gas out. He fought a few weeks ago. Jingliang is a big, big guy. I think he can take him down. He can beat his ass down there. Asuka, yeah, his head's huge, massive. Matt Hughes, no, that's crazy. Hopefully the guy's all right. But I seen somewhere on Twitter, maybe Front Row Brian was going on about the respect his privacy, respect the family's privacy. So maybe that's leading to something else. I hope the guy's okay. Camacho can definitely KO. He can, if that's what I'm saying. If they come out and swing, then Camacho could catch him definitely. But I don't think. I think that he just needs to stay patient and let Camacho throw shots and wear himself out, and he should get him from there. I've got me a top 3 picking, but it could happen yet. I think I've got one lineup with Frank Camacho in. I'm not sure. I've went kind of light on DraftKings this week. I'm not in that many. I'm in a couple of the $27. I think I put 2 entries into that. I put 3 in the $3 strikes, the 3 teams. I think I put 3 in the 20 as well. And then apart from that, not an awful lot. A couple of double ups and stuff. Don't think Kim has the cardio. See, I think Kim possibly has enough to win 2 rounds, but I think it's going to be super close. I really do. I think it's going to be really, really close, that fight. The line's off, and when I see lines like that, I'm going to bet a guy that's been around, fought decent guys, better than what his opponent has. So yeah. Did you pick Travis Brown against Arlovsky? Got a funny feeling I did, hun. Yeah, could be wrong. Any guys you like for value in DK? Well, one of the first things I said was bet Peshko here. I've managed to make a couple of really good lineups by putting her in, but she could get starched and get you maybe nothing. Wouldn't surprise me. I've actually got a couple of that CJ De Thomas guy just in case, that Tomas guy. So yeah, Nakamura. I think he might have did Nakamura. Keita Nakamura. I'm not sure. I think he maybe did. I have got some De Thomas Cody yet. I think Dye. Yeah, Dye's a good pick. Orlando Dye. I think he can go the 3 rounds. He's got a big left body kick. He seems to get wobbled a little bit in his fights, but sometimes Caceres just does not turn up. So I love skill make it to the 3rd round. I don't see it. I can see Tybura hitting him with big shots. I can see him hitting him with a front kick to the face. Yeah, maybe. I wonder if there's any hometown judging. Possibly. You guys get any bets? What's your bets for this event? Got a grand down in Walt Harris, Holly Holm, and Li Jingliang KO as a multiple. Jeez, man, I hope you cash that. Walt Harris, Holly Holm. I think they're good. Li Jingliang by KO. Yeah. Oh, I had my dinner. When did I have my dinner? I had my dinner about fucking ages ago, and had spaghetti carbonara. And literally, you know what? I'm off work for the next 2 months while this baby's here. And see, today all I've done is eat utter shit. Like, I really have it pretty bad today, so I need to curb that out. Drinking fizzy energy drinks, not good, so that needs to stop. Who's your football team? What football team are we talking? Soccer or football over here in the UK, or are we talking American football? If it's football teams over here in the UK, it's Liverpool. My grandpa was he was a season ticket holder down at Liverpool. Don't really go down all that much now that no family's really down there anymore. So soccer, yeah, it's Liverpool. I'm not a Scouser. No. Grandpa was a Scouser. What's my golf handicap? My golf handicap when I used to play was I was a one handicap. I used to when I was growing up, the thing I always wanted to be was a professional golfer, and then I realised I used to play with a lot of good people who I used to play for Scotland, and I looked at them and I realised I was nowhere near as good as what they guys are going to be. Uh, Brustradamus, the fights start in exactly 9 hours from now. So it's like 4 a.m. your time or 2 a.m. your time or something. I don't know. But I know it's 9 a.m. in the UK. So it might be like 5 a.m. Yeah, it will be. It'll be 4 or 5 a.m. in the US, depending where you are. What do I think of Conor v. Floyd? Oh my God. I'm sick of it already. I think that Conor McGregor is a genius, personally. I think even getting Floyd Mayweather to accept the fight is he's already won there with the money that he's getting. But it's going to be Floyd Mayweather. I know he's 40 years old. He hasn't fought in a few years. It's a different beast altogether, and he's going to probably school Conor McGregor pretty convincingly, I reckon. If Tuck lost to Gomi, I assume he'd be his walking papers. I would think so. Do you still play? I still play occasionally. I do. I play a little bit. I've got a couple of. I'm just outside Edinburgh. I've got a friend in Fife, not far away, and I've got a friend through in Glasgow. And we play a little bit. We're trying to organise a golfing holiday, maybe August, if not early next year. So BT Sport starting at 1 o'clock. The main card starts at 1. Yeah, it's 6-1 good odds. I think the odds should be higher on McGregor personally. McGregor doesn't have a chance. I kind of agree with that. I think there's always a puncher's chance. He's got 3 rounds to try and land something. If not, Floyd's just going to be running around the ring and just picking his shots, and anything that McGregor throws at him, he's just going to be the defensive whiz that he is and moving out the road and going from there. So, oh, could you imagine if Conor beats Floyd? Holy shit! Oh my God, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. There's so many guys that come and attack me on Twitter for being I'm supposedly a fan by a Conor. I'm a big fan of his, but I've got people coming at me all the time saying shit to me about that. So I would love it if he won, just to shut all those guys up, but he's not going to win. Very much doubt it. I think Floyd finishes easily before 6. No, I think it's going to go 12 rounds. I think McGregor gets hit, but I don't think he gets put down. Could be wrong, though. Floyd doesn't really finish many guys. Who was the last guy he finished? Probably Ricky Hatton. You're not going to really count Victor Ortiz because that was fucking dirty. So, but you've got to protect yourself all the time. Diaz hurt McGregor with punches. I really think McGregor, like I've said in these videos before, I think he threw too much in the first round, overreaching, overextending, and then fucking you're not going to get rid of the Diaz brothers. They're always going to be there. So, yeah. Early Lean Kazar Lee. I spoke about this through the week there. Kind of Kevin Lee at the minute, but I'm probably going to change that up once I kind of look more into it. I've only did a little bit. Real boxers, but I think MMA fighters have better chins than boxers, personally. Smaller gloves, get hit better. I can't see Floyd putting him down. It's just, I don't know. Michael, I hope you catch that bet, man, with all that money you've got on there. Oh, Skip Bayless. That guy's fucking crazy. I seen that video yesterday now. I know he doesn't like Floyd. When I was in Vegas last year, I saw the show. I saw the show that he must have over there. And the guy's nuts. He needs to be put in a fucking straitjacket, man. Some of the shit. He honestly thinks McGregor's got a chance. So, yeah. Big difference. Yeah, I see what you mean. Do you like Canelo? Yeah, I like Canelo. I don't think he beats Triple G, though. Yeah, brush damage. You should, yeah. Do you think Floyd will still be able to move like he used to? I do. I think he'll probably. I think Floyd will still look like Floyd Mayweather. I just think the guy's, it's just that ingrained in him that he's going to look as good as he ever does. But I just think that Conor's tough. We can, and especially in that boxing aspect. Yeah, I know. See, if I was Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather, I would literally come in and start like doing crazy shit with my feet, like lifting them or just twitching, just to try and put Mayweather off a little bit. I would fuck around with Mayweather by doing crazy shit like that, even spinning and stuff like that, just to see what he would do. How shit was Dominic Steele? Oh, Dominic Steele cost me in DraftKings big. Asshole. Depending on what the line gets, I might put 20 quid on a corner. Maybe by decision. If I'm talking about him going decision, I might put money on it. Do you think MMA is mainstream? I think it is in certain aspects, but I don't ever think it'll be fully mainstream. Yeah, I bet on Steele. Asshole. Such a stupid bet as well. Yo, what's up, son? Robert Lee? What's happening, man? Elliot fucked me. Hey, yeah, Elliot was another one that kind of cost me a little bit. Yeah, I think that I thought. Oh, I wonder what the odds are for betting the three Korean fighters. I'll maybe have to look at that. It's all quite close now. Oh, he just missed it. See, I really want to bet Kim, but I was just put off a little bit. I was going to bet Safadine earlier on today, but I changed that when I seen the Li Jingliang plus 138 by KO TKO. I thought I'll just put it on that. Tape study is overrated. I think if you're betting large sums of money and you're putting lots of money into DraftKings, that's the best tool you can have. I don't think there's enough tape study you can do, Cody. I kind of disagree with that a wee bit. But sometimes I get, it's like, these are just my picks. I wish more people like you guys would come on here and do it and put your picks out there. I just like speaking to you guys and seeing what things are. But like tape study, I think is a integral part of if you're going to do something like this, I want to give you the picks why you think I'll win. And this year I've been doing great with my picks. I mean, do you guys play UFC Fantasy? Because I've been doing really well. I think I'm just outside the top 10 there. So, yeah. Levi Arnold, what's happening, my man? Sexy Yama. What happened to Sexy Yama? I haven't seen him in a while. Sasaki for 400 value. I would have said that a couple of days ago, but I think that Scoggins actually really, really good. Yeah, UFC Fantasy, like UFC Fantasy Pick'em. Recency bias. Yeah. See, sometimes I get caught with that. I get caught with that in DraftKings a little bit, which is I'm still new to DraftKings, so I'm trying to just work my way around it a little bit. See, I think I picked Damian Brown against Pichel, but that's another thing because I get my picks out right before all the odds and right before all the fight week stuff starts. That I actually, in the end up, I went heavy on Pichel and DraftKings due to his price, and I picked him and everything else. But once I give you the picks on here, I usually stay with him. I always stay with him if I can. See, I still don't think Jumau is that good. I don't rate him. I really don't. But I forgot that he's fighting in his backyard. Um, so yeah, I don't rate him that highly. But he might change my mind in the next few fights if he comes out and does what he did, stop the takedowns, and once he stays on the feet, he's got a chance. Well, so yeah, T Wood v Robbie. Yeah, Shevchenko or Amanda. I'm liking Shevchenko personally. Well, can you give out your DraftKings picks? See, because I get my picks out that early, the prices aren't out, and I've been asked to make videos before, but I might do this more often. But we'll see. I knew that Steele wasn't good. I'll be honest. I'll stick my hands up. I think I underestimated Jamal a little bit. I watched numerous fights of his, and he was taken down by less grapplers than what I thought Dominic Steele was. So I underestimated him a little bit, and that's something I need to work on. Is it better to bet early or late? I bet a little bit early, and I bet a little bit late as well. Yeah, I don't see Betch winning. Don't see Betch winning in the slightest. Holly Holm's going to run away and just pickpocket strikes, and when Betch comes in, I think she's going to catch a big shot and be put down personally. But see, like I can't play Holly Holm in DraftKings. I just can't do it. Do I pay attention to the weigh-ins? If for something I like, initially I'll bet it early in the week when the odds come out and try and get the best odds I can. But I don't really pay much attention nowadays with the early ones. I kind of stick by my leans, and maybe that's something I need to change a little bit. So yeah, early for favourites, late for dogs. Exactly. You need to wait for people like the big cappers out there. So your Luca Furies and your so on and so on. Those people out there that are going to bet. If you think they might bet those guys, then you should wait. So Jessamine Duke look needs were horrible. I tried to stay away from that shit until my friend sent them to me. And Angela Magana, ugh, horrible. All the girls with the leak nudes were terrible. Not good looks at all. Where's the Paige Van Zandt ones when we need them? Jeez. Dave, don't go and look at them. Terrible, horrible. I think the ones were Magana, Jessamine Duke, and Raquel Pennington. Dude, you don't want to see them, honestly, they're not nice. Oh, Cody, you're sick in the head. Rolando D have a chance? Possibly. I think he's got enough to stick around and cause a little bit of trouble for Caceres, so. Where's the Watterson ones? Yeah, they're the kind of ones. They're the ones that need leaked. Pidge Van Zandt. Tybura going to smash Arlovsky. I agree with you, Arisic. Glad we don't have Betch picked yet. All we need from Betch is just that big ol' ass. Because that's the only thing she's good for, is that big ol' ass. Butterface, big ol' ass. Do I watch Bellator? I do watch Bellator, but it's over a bad stream that we get here in the UK, and it's just not great personally. So I do watch it, but I would watch more if we had a decent way in the UK to actually watch it. Do I play poker? Now and again, not that often though. TRT Vandalay versus TRT Sonnen. TRT Vandalay. Arlovsky by lucky victory. I think I've seen you a few times pick Arlovsky. Are you a big fan of his? I think if I remember, you've been a fan of his in the past and you've picked him. I think you maybe actually picked him in the Travis Brown fight, if I remember. Betchko here looks like Javier Bardem. That's who Betchko here looks like. Javier Bardem. That's the one. Cody, that's the one. Yeah. Do I like Betch's ass? Yeah, well, I like Betch's ass if her face is looking the other way and I can just see her ass. So yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind a little slap. I think I'd be pretty badass. She'd beat my ass for it, but I'd take the chance. Put a bag over her. Taking Arlovsky. I mean, he got dropped by a jab by Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett dropped him with a jab in the first 15 seconds of the fight in Germany. I'm just not sure. Betch is the definition of a butterface, definitely. See, I've got Betch and DraftKings. That's the only thing I've got her on. She just opens up so much space to get other guys in. You can get 4 good guys in for her price. Freddie Roach should train McGregor. I don't think it matters who McGregor trains with. It's going to be the same outcome. He's not going to win that fight, but he's going to make a shed ton of money. So can't hate on that. Just don't know how good Tibura is. I think Tibura's good. He's one of those underlying guys. I think he's a top 10 heavyweight, definitely. But this is a good fight for him. This is to put his name out there a little bit, personally. Cormier, Jones. I think Jones is, he's got his number. He's in his head. So yeah. I like Jones a lot. I think since the last fought, I think that Cormier's definitely faded a little bit. I think that fight with Gustafsson was really hard. I thought he did great against Rumble. But was Rumble's head even in it? Who knows? Cheap option for decision loss. That's my hope. That's why I'm going with Betchko here. I'm going with Betch for the simple reason that she could get there and she might get 30 points. UFC bro picks, Team Colby brother, fuck you, go suck a mean fat dick, Justin, Jobber, let's go stun gun, let's do it. What do you all eat for breakfast? Eggs. Definitely eggs all day. Dennis Seaver versus Penn thoughts. I love BJ Penn. BJ Penn is such a cool guy. But he shouldn't have come back. So yeah. Did I make bets for this card? I have made bets. I have got 1 unit on Don Young Kim. I have 2 units on Li Jing Liang via KO TKO at plus 138. I have got Naoki Inoue, 1 unit on Naoki Inoue and Scoggins Sasaki over 1.5 at plus 120. I have got another one with Kwan Ho Kwak and Doan over plus 1.5 with John Tuck at 129. And I've got Walt Harris and Alex Caceres 3 units, which I'm a little bit shaky about now, at plus 102, which I feel a little bit stupid with because I'm kind of fading away from Alex Caceres and fading him a little bit. So yeah. Betch can't last 5 rounds. I don't think she can, but that's what I'm going on in DK. That's what sometimes on DraftKings you have to take those. The one thing I'm learning about DraftKings is you have to think about game theory. So what I am thinking of is hopefully Holly Holm's just timid. She's just going to not strike that much and pick apart her shots and run around for 25 minutes. And then Betch gets a few shots off and gets to the end of the fight. Say 20, 30 points, I'll take 20 points personally if that happens. I think that Holm will knock her out. I think I've picked 3rd round. I think one of the guys in here, I can't remember, sorry, I forgot who you were, but MMA Mixed Martial Arts, Madness, I think it was the guy that picked a 3rd round TKO. What do I think of McGregor? Mayweather? I already spoke about that. I'm sick of it already. And like I said, I think that McGregor's won already by getting the best boxer to come out of retirement, and he's going to make a shitload of money doing it. But I think that McGregor's just clearly, I think he's out of his depth personally. So yeah. Bet you love Misha Tate's ass. I've met Misha a couple of times. Misha is really, really nice. And she's single. She's not with Brian Caraway anymore, guys. So she's on the market. So go and tap that ass. Yeah, it was. Well, they were training partners. We all know Caraway's a fighter because we don't see him all that much. But he was clearly out of his league. Misha has a Junos. As long as my balls were sitting in that Junos, I don't care. Honestly. I would happily rest my balls on our Junos any day of the week. Are you the guy on YouTube who got dissed by Bisping? Maybe. I've had a couple of run-ins with Bisping, but that was years ago. Like years ago, he was very disrespectful to my fiance, like really disrespectful. But he did apologise years later, and he apologised to her as well. So fair play to him. D is a live dog. I think you could be right. McGregor knocked out Mayweather. Las Vegas would be burnt to the ground, I think, if that was the case. It'd be crazy. Watch McGregor's boxing footage. I saw that boxing footage. He was sparring with Chris Van Heerden. I saw that about 18 months ago. But I think there's an unedited version as well, which I haven't seen. I'm not going to go look into it. See the Conor Mayweather fight. I am not really that interested in it. I keep saying I'm not going to watch it, but I guarantee I end up staying up and watch it. But yeah. Bisping, even he has said in the past that back in the day he was with the wrong group of people, very cocky. This was going back. This was UFC 89, round about that, maybe even earlier than that. And he was just really quite nasty to my fiance. So, but like I said, he apologised, he manned up about it. So, from Leeds, UK, all the best, mate. Hope you cash your bets tomorrow. If you're watching the fights, enjoy them. See you again. If a pigeon legitimately knocked out Stipe, e.g. a wing flap, would they legitimately crown him the heavyweight champion? Yeah. Bird flap followed by a double bird flap, wing flap, whatever you're calling it. Explain the Bisping situation. That was the Bisping situation. He was just really disrespectful. If I don't really speak about my fiancée that much, but she's profoundly deaf, and he basically started taking the piss out of her, and just the way she speaks. Now she's good lip reader. She speaks okay, but he was just a little bit mean. I think he maybe had a drink, so that's why I was a little bit off. But see, he apologised. He manned up and he did what he needed to do. So, Kwang Ho Quack. I've went a little bit back. I think Doan's got a chance, but I'm still going with Quack. I still like. I think he's got a lot to offer in this fight. Do you guys like prudes? Saw Jessica Duke's nudes and loved them, except from the literature and her twat. Nunes versus Shevchenko. I like Shevchenko right now. I think that Nunes, somebody said in here she's got 2 rounds in it. I agree. And Shevchenko, since that fight, has shown how good a fighter she really is in all aspects of the game. Like a lot of aspects. We all know what striking's about, her footwork, her timing, but then she's got a ground game. So that's something that. And she was coming into that fight against Nunes. If that went 5 rounds, that she was beating Shevchenko, she was beating Nunes in that fight, without a doubt. That's what I think anyway. But it's hard. We need to wait and see. I think that Nunes is a little bit rattled. We saw at the press conference. What was all that about? There was no need for that. What she was doing. She's won. She's got the upper hand. She needs to just stay strong, put that confidence out there. And she looked a little bit weak by doing that, in my opinion. So, Megan Anderson. I think Megan Anderson's nice, man. I really do. I think she's quite a nice looking lady. Have you placed top 5 in any large DK tournaments? I've won a few GPPs yet. Nothing. I went into DraftKings with, I put $10 in, and I've built everything. I took about $5,000, I think $5,500 in January this year, with the 2 events we had. In fact, that might be a little bit. The first 2 it was, and did really well. And since then, I've been shit. I've been literally dog shit. So, not been good. Stipe Brock Lesnar. Brock's not going to come back. Brock's making shit tons of money in the fake wrestling, so. Nunes, that's true. Yeah. She might not be training as much as she is. I don't risk that much on DraftKings. I took a lot of that money out that I lost earlier on in the year. I think I took about three and a half out. So I had a couple of thousand, and now I've got, I think it's about $1,200 in. So how much did you risk when you won the 5K? Like I said, I took about three out, three and a half out on my account and kept 2,000. And from February until now, including tonight, I've still got about 1,200. I've had a few events where I've won a couple of $100s and so on, but yeah, I think I won 2 GPPs in one night. That's where I won a lot of my money. It was the very first card of the year. I got all the picks right, and I nailed everything in DraftKings. I think one of the biggest guys that won me that money was Cyril Lasker. I had him in my DraftKings teams, and he won me the money. So, see you later, hon. No, I haven't. Like, I put $10 into my account, and then I played your jukeboxes, your 25 cents to your $1 games. I won a couple of them, and then I just started building my bankroll. So it was $2 games. Then I went into the Hammerfest. Is it no? What's it? I can't remember what the $3 one used to be called. And then since then, I play, like, I don't get any higher than the 23 or the 33 for pay-per-views. I don't go any higher than that. John Jones versus Uberim. John Jones all day. Back then, when I was playing, it was about 100. I think for all the games I played earlier on the year, it was about $100. And I walked away with some good cash. So, this main event, I want. Well, I would like Betchko here if I'm playing DraftKings. So I'm not betting anything Holly Holm. I would like Kahir to win, but yeah, the Haymaker. Don't know how I forgot that shit. Is Jones ever coming back? Jones will be back in the next 2 months, and he's going to put a whipping in Daniel Cormier. 33. Yeah, I'm looking to cash that. See, I'm still learning. I really am. I'm giving myself a year from this year to try and see where I'm at by the end of this year, and see if I take out any more GPPs. I mean, I'm learning. You guys, I swear to God, if you're not in Roto Grinders, if you've got a spare $6, jump into the premium section, and they can help you out with loads of things. Brett, Joe, Mark, Mike, Chris, Drew, Josh, Lara, all the guys that are on there, Sean, they can all help you with your DraftKings picks. I watch all the content that I can. Kyle Marley's another guy. I kind of forget about Kyle. The guy wins big all the time. So, yeah. Who could take Jones out at heavyweight? I think a prime Cain Velasquez could. Do I think DK MMA will ever get big like football or MMA DK? Sorry? You think DK MMA will ever get big like football? Or... I think MMA will get bigger. I can see it getting bigger, but they'll not be like your big sports. Do you watch Fargo? I've never watched Fargo in my life. Friends have told me I have to start watching it though, but no. Too many opinions. See, like what I do with the guys is I I listen to all their opinions, but I take little bits out. That if you listen closely to Brett and all those guys, there's little bits you can take and that's where um, I don't listen. There is certain things because a lot of people were moaning at Brett last week for being heavy on Tim Elliott, and a lot of other people were too. But you shouldn't. This is your money that you're playing with, so you need to make the decisions. Don't go off what other people who've been successful in the industry. Don't take their word as gospel, and I don't do that. I take little bits. I'm trying to learn, but I can see what you mean by too many opinions. I can see that you've got to go with your own picks. My DK name is Billbar85. So Levi, it's BILBAR85. See if any of you guys want to play, I've got the phone here, straight to the app. It'll come up, and then we can play a game if you'd like. Oh, Dustin Johnson's going to miss the cut of the US Open. Him, Rory, and Jason Day all missing. Shit. Did you ever do jiu-jitsu? I did jiu-jitsu a little bit, but where I am in Scotland, there's not a hell of a lot round about me. I would need to make. I'd probably need to catch a train. Well, I'll probably need to drive or catch a train an hour away from here to get anywhere fairly decent down in Glasgow. But no. Hookers, what's your opinion on them? Hey man, if you've got the money, go for those fine ass hookers and do whatever you want, but not for me. I'm happily in a relationship that I've been for the last 10 plus years. So yeah. Ooh, I'm up to $75 on this golf shit on DraftKings. Go train with Tisha Torres. Nice. Thoughts on Shane Carwin? Guy's got heavy power, but he's been away for a long time, so yeah. We'll see. Actually, last year, like one of the reasons I started building my bankroll, it wasn't really with MMA. It was with the NFL. I did really well. Won a few. I think I won like a $50, and that originally got me started. Then I started playing more. I had like a 3 week stretch where I started getting more money. So, yeah, looking forward for the NFL coming back. I don't play that much golf in DK anyway. To be honest with you, Cody, I don't really watch as much as I used to. I used to watch it literally all the time. Also trained with Thiago Silva's wife. She had the biggest fake tits. Was that the one he used to beat up? I'm sure he used to beat his wife up. I remember that Thiago Silva pulling the gun out, yeah. See Scoggins knocking out Sasaki. That's actually something I've been thinking the last few hours, but I've decided to just stick with the decision. I can't believe the over 1.5 was, I think I got it for 160 minus 160. So I thought that's a really good piece that I could add to a parlay, and I put him in with anyway. So Pablo Popovich was Silva's wife and went nuts. Crazy ass Brazilians. Jesus. So tell me, guys, what other do you watch other prediction guys that make predictions on here? Is there any other dudes that you like watching? I've got a few that I like on here. I think you probably already know who the majority of them are. So yeah. Do you guys listen to like many podcasts or stuff? Because I listen to quite a few. I listen to obviously the guys that I mention all the time. Brandon Key's good. If he, yeah, Brandon does that. He'll be back. He comes, he makes some predictions, then he goes away, and you don't see him for a few months. Rockstar Z is. He's the man. He's a good guy. Brandon the hippie, yeah. Brandon's always high as a kite. Always. Bookie Beatdown, yeah, that's a shame. That was a show. Cody and Paul used to do such a great job with that. And I hope in the future that they can maybe bring it back in some capacity. I listen to everyone, but I get pissed if you guys make me change my pick. Don't change your picks. You have to go with your gut feeling. That's something I struggle with. Mark Hunt, my gut feeling was he was going to win. I changed my pick, and it pisses me off. But you need to make your own. Like this is what I've said in a few videos in the past. Um, if you're betting or you're making picks on DraftKings or this and that, you have to go with your initial gut feeling on things. Like sometimes I do it. Like Damir Hadzovic, I liked him, and I stuck with him. Where like last week I had Mark Hunt and I went against him, which was a little bit stupid. So I still need to. Yeah, Pat Mail's show is rough. Pat's a good guy. He's just he's not clued up in MMA, but he's doing well. I'm in like a tournament, Toutmaster. You maybe heard of it through Twitter or whatever. And I was third last year and walked away with a bit of money. He's a couple of spots ahead of me. I think I'm sixth and he's fourth. So I'm looking to walk away with a couple of $1,000 in that at the minute. So yeah, Cody's good though. Cody's really good. He knows his shit. Yeah, exactly. Cody used to be a matchmaker. Yeah. Matt Mitrione will knock out Fedor, I think. Any thoughts on Bellator? I find it strange James Gallagher has no team with him. Is James Gallagher out in New York at the minute? Oh, in fact, I've seen a picture of that, yeah. Well, you know what's going to happen with everybody at SBG, or they're all going to be catering to what Connor's doing now that he's got. Not that they can offer much if it's a boxing fight, but you know they're going to be running around after Connor. Is Owen Roddy and that not even out in New York, or Ashlyn Daly, or anybody? He was on his own. Fuck. It's crazy. I think that Gallagher will win personally, but it's a tough fight. I mean, it's another step up. Chael trash talk to Vanderlei. I have a little bit. Highland Spring. Yeah. Drink lots of that. Try to anyway. Dylan Dennis is there with him. Oh, shit. So it's an MMA fight and that guy's going to be in your corner. Fuck. Jesus. Charlie Ward fighting soon. Tell me about it. I couldn't believe when it got made for the Glasgow card. I was like, oh shit! And then he's against the guy who hasn't fought in 3 years. It's a fight that I heard that Conor McGregor had a hand in picking the opponent as well. So we'll see if that's true or not. I think Bafondo can knock him out though, but we'll see. It's Dylan Dennis, not from New York anyway, so maybe he's not going to be in the corner still. Striker v grappler, yeah. Just hope James doesn't come out and want to strike with Machida. Take him down. If he takes him down, he wins this fight 99 or 100 times. Watching MMA live is the best atmosphere. Yeah, you can feel it. It's true. I love live MMA. It's brilliant. If you've got a lit card, like 189, and even I've been to someone's over here in Europe, but Glasgow was a great card. Dublin's always a great card. Ireland's just brilliant. I love Ireland a lot. Watching for Doom front kicked Taverde, and that was funny. That was some funny shit. Ward versus Al Hassan was hilarious. Yeah, he got put down like 3 times. I was high in Al Hassan. I'm still high in him. I think that loss is going to be good for him against Akhmedov, but we'll need to see what he comes back. I was really high in Al Hassan, and yeah, but we'll see. You've got to take that first loss in the UFC. Carl Moore is a beast. Carl Moore is one of those guys. Once he realizes what he's doing, he's going to be beating guys up. I've been saying that. I think every time I mention a breakdown a Paul Craig fight, I always mention Carl Moore because I think he was bossing that fight with Paul Craig and then got caught in a submission. I think we'll see him in the UFC very, very soon. We'll see him. It wouldn't surprise me if we see him in a European card in Rotterdam or Gdansk by the end of the year. It wouldn't surprise me. I think I'm going to go to that Poland card in October. I've been looking at tickets. I've been not tickets, hotels. I've been looking at flights. Very, very cheap. I'm hoping Ioane and Jacek might be the main event. Very much doubt it though. Tybura, to be fair, if Tybura wins this fight, he could easily main event an event in Poland. So Grizzly Bear versus Bigfoot. Grizzly Bear all day long. Excuse me. If Craig's on the canvas, he's going to, even off his back, I can see him winning this fight. I can see that Roundtree he might fall into something. And the thing is, with this fight, Paul Craig is fighting full time. He's not. He's been over there at the All Stars in Sweden, and yeah, he's been over there at Alexander Gustafsson's gym. He's been doing a bit of work over there. Clear striker versus grappler. I'm always going to big up Paul Craig. Nice guy. Tough fight though. All the Scots have got tough fights. Do you live in the city or the country? Right, so Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland, and I live in a place called Musselburgh, which is literally an extended part of Edinburgh, but it's a lot quieter. It's out of the way. I stay in a really kind of quiet place of Musselburgh, but I'm originally a country boy. I come from a place where there's no signals or anything for mobile phones. Wi-Fi, you don't really get that down where I'm from. I grew up on a farm, so yeah. With golf course. I lived on the golf course when I was a kid, pretty much. Roundtree's your most confident pick. Maybe. Do you watch Geordie Shore? No, but my fiance watches it religiously, all the time. Fucking crazy. Thoughts on who's next for Gunny if he wins? How bad is Edinburgh's crime? Edinburgh's crime is fine. The pigeons look out for everybody in Edinburgh. thoughts on who's next for Gunny? I was really disappointed in Ponzinibbio being the opponent next. For the simple reason, I think that Kamaru Usman was offered the fight against Gunnar Nelson. I thought it was a good fight, but he turned it down. Usman didn't want to fight Gunnar Nelson, and it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that people are turning down Gunnar Nelson, because Gunny's the man. I could watch Gunny fight literally. He's one of the most fascinating guys to watch. I think he's really, really technical. His striking's underrated. People underrate his striking. And yeah, when he works on the ground, he's just a joy to watch. He sets up things so easy. I mean, like, he'll punch you like a couple of times to the head, go to the body, you move your arm, he brings his leg round, body triangle. He'll hit you with a couple of part shots, and then your neck's open, and he's got you in a rear naked choke every time. If Gunny's a 3-1 fave, don't diss. Ponzinibbio has got nothing for Gunnar Nelson, in my opinion. This is a big matchup for Gunny, and I think that Gunny absolutely starches Ponzinibbio. I've heard that Kamaru Usman has also turned down Colby Covington a few times as well, so take with that what you will. I think that Colby, out of the two of them, is the better grappler, personally. I think he's the better wrestler. I don't think there's too many people that can... if Colby puts all together, Colby could be a definite... could definitely be a contender in the division. I just don't think it's right now. Need to wait and see. Usman can be beat. Usman can definitely be beat. I can see Tyron Woodley beating him. I can see Masvidal beating him. There's definitely guys out there that can beat. I think Gunner's one of those people will not want to fight Gunnar Nelson at the top of that division, and I don't blame them. Damian Maia will, because Damian Maia schooled him, but I thought it was a little bit inexperienced from Gunny, like, wanting to go to the ground with the best guy there really is down there, but not many people want Gunnar Nelson. Yeah, I wouldn't think too much of the old Arlovsky. No, I think Arlovsky's pretty much done. This will be the last time we see him in the UFC. Yeah, Tim Means, he looked weird last time out, eh? That really shocked me. Because we seen in the first fight who was the better fighter, and it was clearly Tim Means. And then, of course, going down to Brazil, it was roles reversed, and Cowboy beat his ass pretty much. Rory McDonald, I think, would beat Condit. Condit's brilliant, but yeah, I think Rory McDonald, he looked great against Paul Daly. Not saying that Paul Daly's much. He's got no takedown defense or nothing, but I still think Rory McDonald would beat him. It's a shame we never got to see that fight. Favourite non-UFC prospect? I like a guy called Julio Arce that's fighting in Ring of Combat. I like him. I like... who else do I like? Brendan Loughnane looks really, really good. Like, really good. We'll see, he's fighting at ACB over in America, so one of the worst UFC cards ever put together. It's not great, but I think it could be fun. Who's the biggest fighter in Scotland? Who are most people behind over there? Stevie's got a big following. He's from, like, just over the bridge in Fife. Try to think back to Glasgow. I think it was Jojo. Yeah, Jojo, I think, has got the biggest. She's from Glasgow. She's from Kilmarnock, just down the road, but she's well known in Glasgow. But yeah, you guys see. I don't know if you might have not been around when I made the UFC Glasgow picks, but see if you go back and watch Joanne Calderwood walk out at UFC Glasgow. If you look very, very closely, you'll see a certain guy who wears glasses walking out right behind her. I wonder who that could be. Unbelievable experience. Getting to walk out in front of, I think it was 12,000 people, like loads of people everywhere, and then yeah, it's a pretty intense walking towards that cage, I must admit, because you're going in there for a battle, you're going to try and hurt someone. It's pretty intense. The Braveheart really happened. It happened in some aspect, but of course the film kind of changed it a little bit. But a lot of it was pretty true, to be fair. The battles between England and Scotland. Is Jojo a best friend? No, Jojo's not my best friend. She's somebody I know, though, and I have known for a long, long time. If you look out in Glasgow in the next month, you might see me walk out behind her again. Maybe I'm going to try and see if I can do that, but I did it once. I think that's more than enough, but I'm going to try and do it again. Best believe it. Sean, what's up, man? Jing Liang and Taibura all in DK. Don't blame you. Good picks. Do you have a kilt? I have 3 kilts. How do you meet Jojo? I've known Jojo for, 7, 8 years maybe. My mum knows her mother and some of her family. So I used to go out to some of her Muay Thai fights when she was in Scotland, so I know her through that. MMA is a small world. It's easy to meet fighters. It is. That's one of the things I love going to events is meeting fighters. There's not, I could put in one hand how many bad fighters there really is that I've met personally. A lot of them are really, really nice. So yeah, one of the best things is meeting fighters, getting a chance to speak to them, picking their brains a little bit. So yeah, I've trained in little bits. Did a little bit of wrestling when I was in America. Was not good at the glasses. Fuck everything up. I've got really bad eyesight. So a little bit. I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu, not too much. Do you ever wear a kilt? I wear a kilt to like weddings or like a special occasion, but I get to use it at least once a year, maybe twice a year if I'm lucky. Stayed at the MGM for UFC 125. Now, what was 125? That was Edgar. Edgar v. Maynard. That epic fight. I've stayed at the MGM. I like the MGM. I actually like New York, New York. I love the rooms in there with the hot tub in the room. Badass. Anthony Johnson's banging Valor of the Eternal. Shit. Thoughts on Cody No Love? Cody, no dad. I'm a huge fan of Cody Garbrandt. Huge fan. Asking for weed, but I had none. Lombard. I've heard that Lombard's visit. Yeah, I've heard that him on the Eternal. A few times I've heard that. Mike Hogan, yeah. Do you still do BJJ, Ryan? Do you still do it? Just complained about fighter pay the whole time. Yeah. I bet his little brother's not complaining about fighter pay now. Jeez. His little brother cashed in big time. Stopped in 2007. Where did Mickey Gall go? Yeah, he's went quiet. Saying that, he did say he was going to drop down to 155, so he's maybe just taking it slow and lose that weight and getting himself in shape. So who knows? Nate's just waiting for Conor. Absolutely. Because you know that if Conor comes back, you know what fight he's going to go for. It's going to be a trilogy fight with Nate. He knows he can make money off that. He's beaten before. The trilogy fight. It's pretty shitty on Tony Ferguson, to be all honest with you, but that's what it is. French bulldogs that get loose, you have to take her back to house. Did you steal a bras? You should have stole a bras off the washing line, Cody. Steal her knickers. Her underwears. Keep them in. Give him a sniff. Thoughts on Nunes versus Val? Initially, I like Valentina. I really do. I really do. I think that Valentina's just like I've said. I think I said this a little while back that she's just progressing so much, and she has done since the first fight. Like I said, if it goes 5 rounds, I only see Valentina winning that fight. I think that Nunes has 2 rounds in it at max, but she has big power. She has skills on the ground. But I just like what I see from Valentina personally. If Maya gets passed over, yeah, let's hope Damien Maya gets that shot next because it'd be crazy if he doesn't get it. Did you watch UFC 100? I was at UFC 100. It was a great event. It was a historical event. Really, really good. Pretty intense. It was just a good card. I really enjoyed that card. And if you look back at it now, there's a lot of good fighters. John Joneses were on it. Obviously GSP and Thiago Alves and Brock and so on and so on. UFC 100, that was the time I was literally going to UFCs all the time, all over the place. Europe and the UK. Any late pullouts? Not that I know of, Corey, no. How short is Rashad Evans? We'll need to wait and see. Sam Alves next, isn't there? So Jones was in the prelims. He was, yeah. Was he not against? Was it Bonner? Stephen Bonner? Gusmao. Gusmao was UFC 87. Yeah, it was Stephen Bonner. You ever post on Sherdog in the early 2000s? No. Never really posting anything like that. Played DK in the early days. Maybe. I really enjoyed Counter Move. I really enjoyed that, and I was pissed. I was so annoyed when that got bought over by DraftKings. But yeah, do I ever bet on Cage Warriors? Occasionally, yeah. Cage Warriors is awesome. We're quite lucky over here in Europe and the UK now. I think Bama's doing good things. Cage Warriors has always been a favourite organisation of mine. So yeah. 3-3 and winning money. Fuck. I did really well on Counter Move, must admit. Thoughts on Roy Nelson's chin? Uh, he's still got it, but his game's deteriorating. Best thing for him was to go out the UFC, People were just making their names off Roy Nelson. So yeah, sent me a DraftKings invite. Where's my phone? Let's see. Shit, there it's there. There we go. Got it now. Import. €15 tickets. Brilliant. Can I grumble at that? I think I've got one lineup with Sasaki in it, but it wouldn't surprise me if I changed because of. I thought that he had maybe had a chance to catch some, but Scoggins, I thought he looked good on the weigh-ins. I thought he looked pretty decent, but we'll need to wait and see. Right, let's see this DraftKings team. There we go, Levi. Entered, mate. Got you there. Leroy, fucking don't say that, Loth. I put my biggest bet this week is 300 quid on Walt Harris and Alex Caceres, and I don't know what I was thinking earlier on the week. I was actually really high on Alex Caceres, and then I was thinking to myself, what am I doing? Because sometimes he can be so off. So yeah, I've got 300 quid on him to win 306 back, double my money pretty much. So here's hoping that he just wins. I don't mind if he wins the decision. I hope he wins the decision because I haven't got much of him in DraftKings. So Li Jingliang versus Camacho. It's going to be a firefight for as long as it lasts. Jingliang just needs to be careful. I don't think Camacho's got much in him. A couple of minutes of fighting, and then from there, Li Jingliang will win. That's why I put a couple of £100 on him to win by KO TKO at plus 138, so I can hopefully win that one there. Holly under 4.5, I like it. Asuka 230. Kim and Kim parlay, not bad. Under 2.5 in the stun gun. Under 2.5 in Li Jingliang. I like that one. Holly and Marcin. I like it. Who would have bet instead of Caceres? Probably John Tuck. Don't know why. I really don't know why the hell I went and picked Alex Caceres, because sometimes he just shits the bed. So, but what's done's done now. So, surprise you, Wales isn't a favourite over Rob Whittaker. It's a pick and fight. Really, I think it's a pick. You can't count out Yoel Romero. So, is Harris my most confident pick? It is. Yeah. Cyril Alaska, I don't think he's got any reason to be in the UFC personally. think the only reason I didn't put Inoue in there was just because it's his debut. What I've seen on tape of him looks really, really good in the ground. He pops a good jab out there. And this kid, I don't think he's missed weight pretty badly. So and he's fighting in like the Philippines. He's not even fighting in the top organization in the Philippines. He's fighting in the second biggest organization over there. So I just wasn't into it. So first chance to live chat, big fan. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Blake. Thanks for sticking around. Caceres will be low owned in DK. Probably. I'm just not sure. I'd rather have someone like Inoue who could go in the ground, potentially sweep, get advantageous positions. I think The Rock will win. I think The Rock could win, yeah. Thoughts on the Lawler fight? Oh, weird fight. Great fight, but it's quite interesting hearing why Robbie Lawler left ATT. There was a couple of things supposedly they put a picture of Tyron Woodley after he beat him in the gym with his belt on him when he doesn't really train at American Top Team anymore. Then there was talk of Colby Covington come out and said that the reason he left was because Colby was beating him up. The matchup, I think we could start to see the decline of Cowboy Cerrone. Just need to wait and see, but also Robbie Lawler's at that point in his career. What's he really got left to prove? So I think it's going to be a good fight for as long as it lasts. I think I like Lawler just, but I'll get more into that once I watch a little bit of the fights and see what's going on. Need a solid backdrop, brother. It's true. I'll probably be moving houses very, very soon anyway. After this baby comes, whenever it decides to come, the next thing I'm planning on doing is moving to a new house. Yeah, that's the next goal. I'll maybe get something a bit more professional set up, but I'm not the best with setting things up, so we'll see. Play with our tits, not play. You like the girls in Bellator? Is it that McFarlane? I think she's a really good fighter. I think she would beat girls in the UFC. But she's still green. She's still fairly new as well. So what? Only 7 hours till fight time. See, the thing is, I'm thinking, do I go to my bed for 5-6 hours. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed for 5 or 6 hours, but I need to go up to check these DraftKings teams just in case a fight falls off. So Bellator in New York, I think it's a fairly decent card. It's good. Some half decent fights on there. Caitlin Vieira. I mean, she beat a feeding Valerie Letourneau. I think that was a close fight. I think Val probably should have won that fight. And then Jamie Moyle was a pick that Jamie Moyle decided to strike with her. I don't know why she didn't start. She should have wrestled her. If she wrestled her, I think she would have won the fight, but it's what it is. Well, who am I thinking of? Caitlin Vieira. She's fighting McMahon. You're picking Caitlin over McMahon. Ooh, that's a big pick. Your first MMA event? Wow, Blake. Tell you what, once you go, if you ever get a chance to go, I've been to one Bellator event. It was a long time ago when I was in America. I can't remember even who was fighting in that. Decent, but UFC is where it's at. If you can get a big UFC card, it'll draw you in, and you'll be back. You'll be back to a live fight fairly soon after. Lethal, whereabouts are you from? Are you from America? Are you from the UK over here, or? Smullen versus McKee. That is a great fight. I think Reece McKee's a really good prospect. I like watching him. I thought that last fight against Tim Burnett. Obviously, I think he had problems in that one. So yeah, Joe McColgan, another good fighter. I think he just wants to kind of beat the best guys. I think what's her name that's making her debut, Leah McCourt. She's about to make her debut in Cage Warriors. Looking forward to seeing her. I think she can make her way to the UFC within the next 18 months. So yeah. Are you on the East Coast or the West Coast? Because if you're on the West Coast, that's a hard night. Pacific time, jeez. So it'll be starting at 1:30 a.m. Saying that, it's on UFC Fight Pass, so it might run quite quick. Get to bed in the early hours of the morning. I like Tim Means in that fight. I think Garcia, I think he might have a good first round, but I think he'll fade, and I can see Means potentially stopping him. $4:30 a.m. Jeez. So I'm saying that I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and other kind of social media complaining that they have to stay up late to watch the fights this week. It's like I've been doing that for years and years and years. It's a long last time since we had a card that went to bed early. I mean, it's 6, 7 a.m. and that's tough. It's brutal, but it's what you've got to do if you want to watch the fights. I can't go to bed. I just cannot sleep if I know there's fights on. So yeah, Shevchenko's 15-2. Oh, 15-2. What site's that on? 15-2. Shit, that's some good odds. Most sure fighter to win, I think Walt Harris personally. Yeah, bet safe. We'll check that out. I'm new to the UFC and I've been watching for a few months. I've not seen enough of most of the fighters. I've seen a couple of Holmes fights. Well, still, Walt Harris, the guy who I'm most confident on, He's facing a guy called Sil Asker, who's only been fighting in the UFC for, I think it's his third fight. He lost to a light heavyweight pretty much. Won his last fight, which was decent, but he's against a guy who's too athletic for him. I think he's the bigger striker, bigger reach, bigger guy, better chin, just a better fighter personally. So I think that's where I'm going with that. Camacho's an MMA ref. Did not know that. Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm quite lucky because I can get up at 8:30 a.m., which is only 6 hours time. But I can go up and check my teams, because if someone pulls out, and I'll be so pissed. So it happened that whole Tom Breeze situation pissed me off back at London earlier on in the year. So yeah. Jones DC, I like Jones. Just think that it's hard. Well, he's come back after a couple of years. I think that obviously his mum passed earlier on this week. I think he'll want to fight hard for her. He doesn't like DC. I think DC has regressed a wee bit. And I just think that John Jones is clearly in his head. John Jones knows which buttons to push. And I don't know what DC is going to do different. But we've seen John Jones last year at 197. He came back and he did look rusty in the OSP fight. And yeah, I like Jones. I think Jones can finish him this time, submission. So did you put a bet on Tuck? I have John Tuck. I have a 1 unit parlay, a 1.5 unit parlay, John Tuck with Kwan Ho Kwak and Doan over 1.5 rounds at plus 129. Yeah, that's it. 1.5 units Tuck. Yeah, and Kwan Ho Kwak Doan over 1.5 rounds plus 129. Am I going to stream during the card? No, not this one. But it might be something that I do in the future. Because this is only the second time I ever did this. I only found out how you did it the other night after multiple tries at doing it. So, but it's something that I might do definitely in the future. Hey, Bobby, what's up? I need to make the decision whether I go to bed now. I think I'll give it another 30 minutes and I'll go to bed. 6 hours sleep's more than enough. Bet on other sports? Not so much anymore. I used to bet on the football. I'll probably not bet on any other sports until the NFL starts. Thing is, I'm off for the next until, well, who knows with this baby coming. I can see me just being bored and wanting to bet on stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see. But saying that, once the baby comes, I'm sure I'll not be bored. I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff to do. Better be in bed soon if you're getting 6 hours. Thing is, I'm not a big sleeper. If I can get 4 or 5 hours a night, I'm fairly happy with that. I've never been a big sleeper. Not unless I haven't had much to do the weekend and then it completely gas me out for 10 hours. But yeah. Watch NFL Europe. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I wasn't really into it as much. Well, I was a little bit, but it's when I was staying in Arizona that I started getting into NFL a lot. Once you go to a game, it's pretty cool. And I've obviously been following the Cardinals since then. I actually really wish I placed a bet on Brooks Koepka in the US Open because that was one I was looking at earlier on in the week. Um, but I like to keep my money for MMA because I think I know that a little bit better than anything else now. So yeah, but saying that betting this year has not been good for me. It started off great, but since probably mid-February, March, I've dwindled whatever profits I made early on. So I'm still up a little bit. I'm up a couple of £100 for the year, but I was up 1,500, nearly 2,000, 1,800 earlier on in the year, and it's just dwindled since then. I've made a couple of silly bets, but I'm quite solid with my bets tonight. So yeah, 25 to 1, 50 to 1. Best card for betting. Yeah, there was a few bets that kind of caught me off guard. A little bit surprised that like Walt Harris in America, he started off at minus 180. I don't think he ever got that low over here in the UK. Well, I hope he didn't. But yeah, did I throw $33 on the gold millionaire? No, I didn't. The golf millionaire, I didn't. Uh, Something I might do going forward with the golf majors, but never. I literally only entered like 10, maybe $12, and I'm up 70. I think I'm $70. So hopefully, I can make a bit of profit out of that on Sunday night. Biggest bet mistakes you've seen odd makers make. I think they did it with Bellator. When they fought, I think it was Hungary or somewhere earlier on this year, and they still had the odds up, and you could still bet on them, even though the fights are already taking place. And I remember I put a bet on, and it cashed. There was nothing said about it. So, sorry, I didn't do that. It was a friend of mine that did that. Um, so yeah, for parlay of Sasaki, Kim, and RDA, ballsy. I think like, two dogs and a fairly semi-decent favourite. That'll pay good if you've got something decent on it. Turn this TV off. I'll tell you what fight do you think? I'm going to watch a fight on UFC Fight Pass. What fight do you think I should watch? Who are you, Big Long Meat? Will the UFC fighter ever die? I hope not, but oof, it's uh, it's something that could happen for sure. Thing is with the UFC, they've got everything in place. They've got ENTs and that all around. So hopefully that never happens. But it's wouldn't surprise me. Unfortunately, it's nature of the beast. Poirier, Korean Zombie, one of the all-time greats. Anybody else get any other suggestions? Miralovsky. Saki Hayes. Did I pick Mark Hunt? No, I picked Derek Lewis. If you watch the video, I was really wanting to pick Mark Hunt, and I fucking changed my mind to Derek Lewis like a jackass, Calvin. Right, let's see, Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier. Videos. Dustin Poirier versus Chan Sung Jung. There we go. Hunt, Brunson, and Nguyen. Nice. Just need to get this on the TV.
We get to the tail of the tape. 2 years older is Chan Sung Jung. A 2-inch height advantage and one.
My most confident pick on this whole card is Walt Harris. Yeah, followed quite closely by John Tuck. Jeez, Dustin Poirier looks so weird with that bald head. Now that he's got a head full of hair. Yeah, it's a Cyril Asker. Sandman is like really bad. Biggest bet I've ever landed. Jeez. Holly Holm. I think I had some money on Holly Holm. It wasn't much. I think it was on like 20 quid, but I think she was like plus 771. Oh no, it wasn't. It was TG Dillashaw. It was TG Dillashaw 800. Minus 100, sorry. And I had money on him. So yeah, I think he was the one. Poirier had a better chin. It's true. But he's a great fighter. Poirier's a really good fighter. He's one of the best action-packed fighters in the UFC, without a doubt. Does Bates have any? I don't see it. Sandman, earlier on in the night, we were talking about a little bit about draft, and I do like her in DraftKings, but I think she's going to get frustrated with Holly Holm running around and just picking her shots. That she's going to come into the striking distance of Holm, and she's going to get lit up with something, like a head kick. I can see it happening. Will Joe Duffy re-sign? It doesn't look like it. From what I'm hearing, that the UFC aren't showing all that much interest. So, and if they don't re-sign Joe Duffy, it's an absolute joke. Don't know how they couldn't. Joe Duffy is a legit guy who can beat top guys, I think, in that division. But he just needs a bit more time. He needs to fight a little bit more frequently, and I think he can get up there. But if they don't re-sign him, I think it's a bit of a joke. You can't let a guy like that go to Bellator. You can't. Bill Cosby in Scotland. Bill Cosby girl in Scotland. No idea what you're on about. Could easily be a Bellator champ. Could. Michael Chandler's a good guy, though. Michael Chandler's a good fighter, and he's looked good. He went through a kind of hard patch, and he's came back and looks decent. But he is beating guys that are maybe declining a little bit. Your Benson Hendersons. Who's you got next? Brett Primus. So face some favourable matchups, though. Yeah. I think that really interesting to see Joe Duffy and Poirier in Dublin. if that one went ahead, it'd be interesting. I thought Joe Duffy fought all right in the fight with Poirier in Vegas, but just that I just thought that Poirier's takedowns were controlled on point. So yeah. Do I get mad when my fiance farts? Nope. My fiance, I'm telling you this right now, my fiance has never ever did that. She's not like she's just like a little bit of a prude. Do that kind of stuff, kind of prim and proper. But when I do it, she beats my ass. She doesn't like it, so yeah. Yeah, Joe Duffy's kryptonite is definitely a wrestler. Solid high level wrestler. Like Poirier's, he's an all round good fighter, but you wouldn't say he's an elite wrestler by any stretch of the imagination. Is it weird to shit in the same toilet as someone? I think I'm gonna have to go to bed. Want to bet anyway inside the distance? I think that's a good bet, personally. Guy's no joke on the ground. I know he hasn't faced the best of competition, but I don't think this guy's that he's against is going to stop this guy once he starts chaining submissions. I see him catching a submission in the mid rounds, in the mid round of the fight, in the mid, in the middle of the fight. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, miss weight 6 pounds, 5-6 pounds, pretty bad. Did he come in short notice? I don't think he did. So, still not a good look when you're missing weight. What's my background when it comes to MMA? Just I watch a lot of fights. I've watched how I get into watching fights is my dad's a boxer. My dad trains. Not that I'm overly close with my dad, but he was a boxer a long time ago, and he trains boxers right now. He's got a kid that's representing Scotland. His name's Tyler Jolly. He fights out over here, obviously in Scotland. And I was 10 years old back in 1995, 96, round about then. And he had tapes of the first UFCs, and I found it, I put it on, and from there, my dad he's obviously an old school boxing guy, and he didn't really think much of it, but I loved it. It was Hoist Gracie, obviously, and since then I went off it a little bit during my teen years. I played a lot of golf, was fairly decent at that, and then I came back to it. I always kind of kept an eye on, watched little bits, but I always wanted to come back to it, and then got back into it and really just started watching fights non-stop. Then I started going to fights, and since then I've been all over it. That was way back. I've probably went to 30, 35 plus events, maybe even more than that. I've lost count. And I just watch fights non-stop. It's just something, it's a hobby, it's a passion. So yeah, it's something that I really enjoy watching. Why is everyone so high in Covington? Generic wrestler. He's not a generic. I think he's a really good wrestler. I think he's got a really talented skill set, grappling wise. But I don't know why people are so high on him. This is a clear step up here, but striking is getting better. There's no doubt about it. You can definitely see that. He's working with was it Paulie Hernandez? I think it is. He also trains Masvidal. I think he did a little bit with Arlovsky for this fight as well. So, and he has got a good gas tank as well. So, I was on him initially, and then I watched the fights again, and I was thinking, Dong Young Kim is no easy out for anybody, and he's a guy that's been around for nearly 10 years, only lost to the best guys, and yeah, what the betting numbers is crazy. So yeah, I thought when he hit 250, I thought he's going to go up to minus plus 300. 3-1 over here in the UK, but he didn't. He got to, I think 260 was maybe the highest you could get him over here. Still crazy odds, so I'm glad I took the shot on him. I could easily give myself a good night if he lands. So, but Kim is 36 years old, but he's really big. When they were standing next to each other, he was like super big. So, interesting. So see when you sit here and you watch the Korean Zombie, man, we've missed so much of that guy. Him being away and doing his national duty for Korea or whatever, and then obviously he's out injured now. So exciting. Yeah. Nice one too. Ooh, spinning back fist. Flying knee. Jeez. Uppercuts. Go and keep going at it. Holy shit, knees. Poirier took him down, then he rolled over. Holy shit. Forget how good this fight really was, and then to full mount as well. It's a shame both the Korean guys, Korean Zombie and the Korean Superboy, pulled from UFC 214. That sucks. Because they were both in good fights as well, stylistic matchups. Oh, armbar. Jeez, that armbar wasn't far away either. Home, Taibura, Jingliang, Tuck, Harris. I think that's safe. I like that. All heavy favourites. I think there's going to be one heavy favourite that is going to lose a fight in this card. I don't know what it is. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be Caceres. Who is Feely fighting now? I don't think he's got an opponent yet. Artem, yeah, I heard that Artem said no as well. Who was the guy that won last week at 145? It was a quick finish. I could be wrong. I might be thinking. Volkanovski. That was the guy I was thinking about. I know he didn't finish the fight, but I thought, oh, it's short notice, 6 weeks. Step up. Alexander Volkanovski versus Fili. I like Jing Liang in this one. I think he's really this Camacho guy. He throws, but I just think that Jing Liang he's tough. I love watching the guy fight. I think the odds are a little bit some of the odds on this card are a bit kind of wacky, to say the least. I was going to bet Safadine, but then I just left it. I think that fight's going to be really close. 29-28 for RD is my pick, but it's kind of similar to the Kim Covington fight. But yeah. Is Kim good versus wrestler? We'll find out. I think he's got that judo background, but I'm confident in him. I really am. I think it's the play to make, and yeah. But we'll see if Covington can. Covington's been talking mad shit about fighting guys in that top 15, so we'll see if he's got the skills to pay the bills. So he's got a great skill set for the sport, pretty much, and his striking's coming along. So ooh, big left hand from Poirier there. RD all day. I think it's going to be close. I just think it's going to be really close. But we'll see. He could totally starch. Well, maybe not many people starch Tariq Safadine. I think he could mix it up pretty well and look good. So Colby's never fought a good wrestler. Yeah, it's true. Oh, fucking hell. Midway through round 3 here, Poirier's up against the cage and Korean Zombie's just throwing mad shit. And Poirier's just trying to swing back. Tariq's a good technical striker, but there's no pep in his shots. Good leg kicks, fairly good techniques, but nothing great. Updating the baby. Who knows, Justin? We went to the midwife today. Says it's still settled. And then if it's not here by next week, we will get induced at some point. But looks like I'm going to get to watch the fights, which I didn't think I was going to get to with this baby coming. But yeah. But I did say if she's born tomorrow, I'm going to call her Betchy. So yeah, that didn't go down very well with the fiance. Right, guys, I am going to go to bed. Where do I live? I live in Musselburgh, Edinburgh, Scotland. What's my read on Ji and Kim? I like her in this fight. I do. It's that striker. I think she's not good in the feet. She can get cracked. If you watch the fights from before, she can get hit. And she's been wobbled a little bit. Pudilova is the better striker. But I can see her putting her against the fence and I can see her getting trips. And once she's on the ground, then she's in. I've seen once it's on the ground that Ji-Yeon Kim's fairly good down there. But there's not that much. What kind of is weird to me is that she was supposed to be fighting Holly Holm in the main event. It's crazy to me that would even, the UFC would even entertain that. So, yeah. But guys, I'm going to go fight store in approximately 7 hours. So I'm going to go and get at least 6 hours sleep and go from there. Do I know Ian Kidd? Only through Twitter. But I know he lives close by. It's the Korean Zombie with a finish. Shit. Right, guys, I'm going to go and catch some sleep. And I'll probably do another of these, maybe one next week before the fights for Oklahoma. Thank you all for all the questions. Thank you for just the chat. It's been some good shit. I will see you all very soon. Take care. Enjoy the fights. And if you've got your bets or your DraftKings teams in, I hope you cash big and do well. All right, guys. See everybody later. Take care.